welcome to another VidCast. We're talking about Thor, End of Days, or God of Thunder. Came out in 2015 and 2020 because it's 2 times better than a normal movie.
It's also called Dark Universe for some reason in some territories.
Oh, good.
Wait, are you kidding?
No.
3 names.
Yeah, this is a mysterious movie directed by a man none of us can seem to find a picture of.
I've tried. I have tried so hard.
His brother's pretty famous.
I don't think there's any relation.
There are some things in this movie that kind of remind me of Ben Shapiro, specifically how it seems like it was made by a Christian 15-year-old with $1.5 million.
I'd rather burn in flames of eternity than surrender to you.
If we keep talking about Shapiro, we're gonna get sponsored by the MyPillow guy.
Oh, God. Somebody just, like, black out Austin Powers' face and just put a giant question mark and just say, like, title, Tom Shapiro, International Man of Mystery.
Part of the problem is that there's famous people called Tom Shapiro.
Oh yeah, the race professor guy.
Yeah, that guy. He's like, racism bad. And I was like, that's not the message of the Thor movie. This can't be him.
Thor movie is actually the exact opposite.
The message of the Thor movie is don't trust people with black eyes. That's my main takeaway.
If you could say like a sentence or two about the movie, how'd everybody like it going in?
You know, I would definitely put it above Dark World, but definitely below Ragnarok.
Wonder how this is gonna tie into Love and Thunder.
It has its moments. It's funny moments. Like, it gets really unintentionally hilarious, but...
Where did they put the $1.5 million in?
Wait, this cost... What?
$1.5 million.
1.5.
Estimated budget.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way.
No, I know exactly where they put it in. It was cast. In the credits, it rolls, and I'm like, all right, skip 15 ahead. And I press this button 7 times, all cast. Small font, like, wedged right next to each other, all back to back, going up. Every extra was a new cop.
Tell me if this observation is correct. The balder the cop, the more dangerous.
Yes.
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 General plot of this movie is that Thor comes down to Earth in a big lightning storm. And down on Earth, there is Loki, who is mind-controlling a bunch of people by sucking out their blue. And,
That was Loki?
That was Loki. It's said in
That
a
was
line.
Loki.
But I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't know stuff about this movie because the audio was mixed down to like wherever here is, and the rest of the audio was up here.
Oh, so bad.
Could not hear anything. I'd be like, oh, let me hear the dial. Boom, 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 boom.
You know, the fights were real loud, and it's great because, you know, you can hear all like the tings and clangs. You know, they used one sound effect each for each different kind of interaction. Like a sword ting was the same ting every time. And the punches were the same stock hits every time.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
There's a time in this movie where, like, breaking news happens on the screen, and they use the breaking news #1 sound effect from fucking GarageBand.
Yes!
I haven't heard that sound effect in years, and the second I heard that, I went, that's from GarageBand.
So Loki's down on Earth and he's sucking the blue out of people, which lets him give them black contacts in both their eyes, and then they work for him now. They're his mind control zombies.
One of the Loki zombies people looked like Mark Zuckerberg.
I thought one of them kind of looked like Eric Andre.
Yeah, the big hair.
I know which one you're talking about, too!
Do you remember the fat one that gets conked with the lead pipe? I call him Dog the Bounty Hunter in my head.
That guy's my hero. I love that guy.
They were amping him up to be a really strong, like, minion.
Then he's just knocked out.
Can I just mention, they don't even bother trying to hide the fact that it's black contacts.
No.
Like,
There are shots where the contacts are too small and you can still see the white in their eyes.
How'd y'all feel about Jake Paul getting fucking murdered in the beginning of this?
I was just gonna say, I put that down in my notes. That dude looked exactly like Jake Paul.
I did briefly think the lead was Logan Paul, and I was like, no, that's not him. His hair's too short.
They were in the beginning of this movie. There's this couple. So they get in a pool, big thunderstorm, and they don't seem to get out until it's way too late. So I think they were gonna die naturally anyway, eventually. They go back inside and barely make it, and a bunch of glass, but it fucking shatters the screen.
The CGI glass, yes!
They walk right back out that door with their bare ass feet and do not mind the glass. So they find Thor in a crater. Hunky Max Aria is his name, right?
Yeah, Max Aria, who is a legitimate stunt actor. He's done stunts for actual shows and stuff, and he's even acted in a few things that are legit, mostly soap operas, but it's not like he's just some rando. He has an actual career.
So this movie is so half-assed. When they find Thor in a crater, he's face down, and they try to get a better look at him. The movie is so half-assed, they only roll him over halfway.
So at what point did you realize that, like, murder was a thing in this movie? Because I was watching it, and I just was not prepped, and you started just stomping this dude's face in.
The CGI blood spatter. When he, like, when the Loki control guy's like, I'm gonna slash your neck open.
Cross the rainbow bridge of Asgard, where the blue meet.
Remember the first guy Thor killed? How it's the guy who wakes him up with a fucking knife plunge?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I watched that a couple times. So the guy's holding the knife out in front of him like this, and they're struggling. And the way that fight ends is the guy gets stabbed in the back.
Right in the back. Yep.
So, Thor found a way to, make that work. I like how useless Thor is in this movie. You know?
He doesn't become Thor until 70 minutes into the 90-minute runtime.
So bad.
By the time he becomes Thor, there's like 15 minutes left.
He's getting mollywopped by regular people.
The cops arrest him like 3 times.
When he's arrested the first time and he's in the back of the police car, he just, like, will start a sentence with, "Please, you must release me." He says this 5 times in, like, one fucking scene.
Please, you must release me. Please, you must release me. Please, you must release me.
Yeah, but he sounds exactly like Chris Hemsworth. He is the real.
The way he talks, oh my god. The way he talks makes me think part of the reason why his performance wasn't as good. He's so focused on trying to sound like Chris Hemsworth.
I do not belong here. I do not know how to operate this vessel. When I try to remember, it's like waking from a vivid dream.
Why does this Thor look bad, but Hemsworth's Thor look good? Because I think we all might agree. Yeah, this guy looks like a dork.
He's cute, but he's not God of Thunder.
He's God of the skate park.
He is the God of Hammers.
Hi, I'm Max Aria, King of Hammers. Come on down to the Home Depot where we have a sale on hammers.
I was just about to say he kind of looks like someone who does roofing a bit.
When you need shingles put on your roof, call Max Aria. We'll hammer them in no time.
One hit gets it in every time. That's why they picked him for the Thor movie. He's like, wow. Shapiro was like, oh man, this guy's really good at putting in shingle. Hey, you want to be in my movie? There's some interesting things that he can remember and he can forget, where he knows the complete cop and police system of the United States of America and Loki's name, but he doesn't know his name.
Who are you?
I can't remember. The police call me Brent.
I'm Grant.
I don't know how to operate this vehicle, and I understand what checkpoints are.
How lucky was it that he happened to fall near a home where the guy happened to kind of look like him, so he could just steal his identity? He kind of looked out there.
I just thought he had Thor's ID. I thought they beamed him down with a fucking fake.
I did too.
Odin's like, all right, my son, you'll need this to buy beer.
Yeah. Take this into the bar. If they ask your age, it's 2981. Can we also talk about the God of Thunder not only being scared of lights, but also sounds?
Yes. Oh,
He just has a really bad migraine,
I
man.
put
He's
this
like-
down in my notes. This totally rips off Daredevil. He has like a freak out moment just because of like sounds in the area.
He's wandering around outside in the middle of the road because I guess in Cali, like anywhere's a road. And these cops are just immediately like shitting on him, and they notice that he's got a little bit of blood from that couple that got the guy got drived to death and the girl got fake throat slit. So they're like, oh no, let's do the cop thing. And they threaten to shoot him and yell contradictory shit at him until, you know, he's in zip ties. And the whole time he's in the back of the car, I'm just like, this is Thor, God of Thunder? They didn't even cuff him. He can't break out of zip ties.
That is definitely Thor, God of Hammers.
If you forget your memory, you also don't have your strength anymore. Don't you know the connection there?
Even though he demonstrated being able to flip a cop over him like self just a few minutes prior.
Yeah.
The guy just touches him lightly on the shoulder and Thor full-blown Seagulls his ass. And then a guy comes in and one of Loki's minions, and he punches in the cop window just in time, takes one of the cop's gun, and then shoots them with several blanks. You can tell it's blanks because nobody gets any holes in them. And the cop does the responsible thing that cops always do when they've been shot in their vehicle. They lay their foot down as hard as they can on the pedal and go speeding forward.
If I'm going down, I'm taking down the suspect with me.
I always wanted to play Carmageddon IRL. Let's go!
And that's when the crazy taxi music starts playing.
They're like, he's trying to shit on the party, let's kill him. And so they possess every cop in Los Angeles to go after him. And a poor blonde woman who, for some reason, is helping him the whole way.
Can we talk about the love interest is named Freya, which is, in Norse mythology and in the comics, is Thor's mom?
Yup. Sure is.
First off, who the fuck names their kid Freya? That's child abuse as far as I'm concerned.
My brother has a dog named Freya. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, it's a dog! The dog doesn't go to kindergarten and get bullied for being like, "Yeah, you're Thor's mom!"
Freya's getting called by her dad, like, since the first, like, shot she's in. She's getting phone calls from the old man about, like, how's your sex life?
So, anyone interesting in your life these days?
Anyway, how is your sex life?
Oh, Dad, you're breaking up. I'm going through a tunnel.
They totally only had that dad for one day.
100%.
They filmed all of his scenes at the same time.
Speaking of the dad, it was either him or Loki. It's like he looks at a family photo of it's like the dad, Freya, and the sister. It's the same guy at the same age in the photo, but both the sister and Freya are like 10 or 11.
Yeah. You know that's a family photo he brought.
He's got Christopher Lloyd disease. He's been old for decades.
I was calling the sister for a while Angelina Jolie. Because she has like those like really like strong pronounced like cheekbones.
Did it seem like all of like the enemies were given just guns for no reason? Like her sister had a gun, like just walked up with a gun and stuff. Bop, 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 bop. And you're sitting there and you're like, hold the phone. It made sense for the cops to have guns. Why do you have a gun?
It's America. Everyone has a gun.
And Thor has to find north. He has to go north.
The answer lies to the north. The closer we get to the north, the more I remember.
So that he can find something true and good.
What exactly are we looking for?
Something powerful. Something true.
That ends up being a hammer.
There was a scene where they exchanged their vehicle for a van. And I'm usually not big on calling out things that aren't super believable in movies.
They said it was a fair value.
They said it was a fair trade.
They said it was a fair value, and that's when I was like, absolutely not.
As a former car salesman, let me tell you.
Yeah, I was like, a work van usually costs like 40 to 50 grand, and that sedan is at best. It's like an '05 Honda Civic.
It reminds me of that episode of King of the Hill where like Hank discovers that his car dealer has been scamming him in his entire life because when he first came in as a teenager, the car salesman convinced him that buying a car at sticker price was the best deal anyone can ever get.
There was a scene where 𝘉𝘁𝘳𝘠 and him are driving in a car, and she sprays out some of the water from the windshield wipers to clean the windshield. They're just riding together, and she's just like, I'm gonna clean the shit off the windows, and he's like, I know who I am! That was an odd choice.
North.
Or if you try to identify the part in the movie where the love interest goes from not trusting him to trusting him,
You can't.
like a normal person would, you can't! There is no moment that gives away that he's not an insane person.
Until he finds the hammer, there is no proof that he is in fact the god of thunder in any way. He'd literally just be some dude on PCP.
I'd imagine if like this movie was playing in a theater and you walked in 5 minutes late, you would not know who Thor is.
You wouldn't.
I agree.
You'd be like, when does Thor get in this movie? And then he picks up the hammer and you're like, oh.
That was Thor?
I don't even think they say Thor's name in this movie, to be honest.
They don't.
He's not even credited as Thor. He's credited as Grant / the Protector.
But Grant's the ID he stole.
Yeah, he's still credited as Grant because that's his name now, I guess. Grant, God of Hammers.
Wouldn't the guy who got his head stomped in be credited as Grant?
Wait, he's also credited as Grant.
Seriously, when they got together, it made no sense, because this guy essentially ruined her fucking life.
A statewide manhunt has been issued in an attempt to apprehend the pair.
He just keeps
so bad.
He just keeps telling her, I don't know what we're doing. We're going north. We're looking for something good. And she just keeps going along with it for no fucking reason. And then the first time they get in a house alone together, it's just like... Yeah, let's fucking hook up.
I was like, oh, is this gonna be a sex scene? Oh, it's just a cuddle scene. Oh wait, they're making out. It's very nice that Loki's minion allowed them to finish before spotting them with the binoculars when he's standing like less than 100 feet outside the front door.
Loki was watching through that guy.
Can we talk about how in that like scene where the police are trying to smoke them out, how when they actually escape the building, there's only like 3 SWAT cops like patrolling the outside of the building.
They just crawl right out behind them. Like some Bugs Bunny shit.
And there's only
so good.
And it's like they're trying to convey that like the building is surrounded, right? There's only 3 fucking people out front.
We're done, boys. Surrounded.
It's an alternate reality where the LAPD is severely underfunded.
Oh, can we talk about him blocking the bullets with his hammer?
Oh, yeah. Once he gets his hammer, he's finally Thor. And all of these possessed cops come to try to fucking kill him. Yeah, they've got automatic weapons, right?
They're automatic AR-15s.
There's a scene where like a couple of guys are just like going at him like full force automatic fucking weapons, and he's just occasionally just like batting that shit back at them, and people are getting hit with the fucking bullets.
There's no accurate like amount of bullets that were fired to how many he blocked.
And it's also just the same shot, just repeated over and over and over again. It's just
I'm
him
glad you saw that.
like standing in place, just cool.
Oh my god, I shot my eye out!
I'm sure most of the action in this movie doesn't make any goddamn sense if you go through and try to watch it.
It's a lot of cuts.
This is what happens when you spend your childhood like watching Video Copilot videos, and then you never watch any Kubrick. This is
good.
This is when you go as far away from art as possible and into the product thing head first. Devin said something in the chat that I liked, like that this was Thor if it was made by DC instead of Marvel.
Oh,
so
That's
accurate.
mean. I feel like it's
unfair.
really mean to DC.
Yes, hit him with that orange and blue overtone. Every DC film. And it's like, wait a minute. Hold up. What if we made it dark and made him murder people? And there's a line that contradicts this in the movie. Thor goes, I wouldn't trust the words of a murderer, after literally like moments after he concaves someone's head with his hammer.
Oh man, that was self-defense, man.
What good is the word of a murderer?
Meanwhile...
Oh, the grief scream when Odin dies. When he's having the flashback to Odin dying, he lets out the most amazingly fucking, like, bullshit grief scream. It's great. It's just like, oh! I love that scream.
He does that scream throughout the movie, and I laughed every time.
How'd y'all like the sky beam? In classic budget movie fashion, they got a lot of like nice stock or drone footage or something of big cities, and they comp the particle systems over it.
Are we talking about the sky beam where it cuts to like the random civilians in the city, and how Pete Davidson's having like a seizure?
Final words? Do you wanna?
I am here to pronounce and announce Bomb Squad Productions will be taking over distribution for the third time they release this movie.
In 2025, it'll be the Bomb Squad cut.
Yeah.
Release the Bomb Squad cut.
It's the exact same thing, but we just make it anamorphic.
Yeah. Just stretch it.
Just stretch it out really wide.
We don't cut it anamorphic, we stretch it.
Exactly.
We want
in post, make it anamorphic and have it cropped at 4:3.
Yeah.
You have to have your phone up to your eye like.
We have to flex on Tom Shapiro.
This movie was a tortoise force. I think this will have a big effect on the future of cinema.
I hope.
God, I hope so. Thanks for watching, guys.
See ya.
Just slid my ticket across the table and I said, "Sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl."